AAAs. If you spell out 12, it'll drop you down into your whole library. So 12, 1, 2, steps 4 in the first name. Last name would be Spiritual Freedom. And then for the birthday, today's date. For identifying characteristics, you can type Spiritual Freedom. You can put a picture of yourself in the analyzed client image, or if you're doing this with a client, you can take their picture, or you can choose a beautiful picture of ascension and enlightenment, something that uplifts you, and put that in there. So for analyze client, spectral voice analysis, we'll just say, because we're going to put this in, and this is stating a power. So when you tap on the spectral voice analysis down here, you're going to say, I have achieved spiritual freedom with grace, ease, and swiftness for my greatest and highest good. And that line fits perfectly in the space allotted. And once that is finished scanning, we tap OK and start. We're done. And then we'll go into start. So this custom panel, 12 steps for spiritual freedom. Now when you open it up, you will see that in your custom library. So once you move into the Da Vinci screen, it'll say, would you like to add a personalized energetic signature using text? I always say yes. I like for my greatest good. Okay. So now let's set up the custom library. So tap on your white pinwheel in the Da Vinci screen panel, and then you'll come up with the dialog box. Do you want to add a new item? Tap OK. And now you will see 12 steps for spiritual freedom should be at the top of your list, of your screen. So now if you tap on the blue circle with the I in it, it means information. And then in the top right-hand corner, you're going to tap the blue plus sign. And the first category is recognition. Now, once you type these in, they're going to go in alphabetical order. I started to put I started to number them, but when you get to 10, it puts 10, 1, 0 up under 1. So I just took all the numbers out and just let it alphabetize, so it doesn't matter because you're going to scan. So for me, I typed in all the categories first. So once you hit the blue plus sign, type in recognition, hit OK. Hit the blue plus sign again, put in unification, tap OK, then put in willing to change. The next category will be dominion. The next category is I live on principle. The sixth category is I live on purpose. The seventh category is forgiveness. The 8th category is positively present. The 9th category is persistence. The 10th category is service. The 11th category is gratitude. And the 12th step category is tithing. So once you have your categories done, it will put them in alphabetical order. And you can, this page will be sent to everybody on the call.
Yeah, I'll send it with the recording.
Yes, okay. And so if you go to recognition, which will be under R, and you tap the blue circle with the I in the middle for information or input, then in the top right corner, you tap the blue plus sign and you will type in, there is an infinite power and presence greater than I am. I got teary on that one. My heart swelled.
No.
So once you have that typed in, you have your option where you can, if you have your scanner and your imprinter, you can write this and lay it across the top and hit import, or you can tap on the Hertz 1 box and put in 0001 and then depress that. Just hold your hand over that for just a minute, your finger over it for just a minute, and you will have the option to select all, paste. So hit select or select all, it doesn't matter. Copy. And then when you depress your finger on the Hertz box 2, you get paste. And you just tap, paste, until all 5 boxes are finished, and then you hit OK. The second subcategory in recognition is divine. All that is first and foremost. You will follow these steps, and if you want, as I'm reading, you can type these in as I speak them. The third subcategory is I am willing and able to receive my divine blessings. And then supporting those beliefs is live your passion, and YLO stands for Young Living Oils. So in your steps to spiritual freedom, recognizing that there is a greater power, there is a greater presence that is greater than you, this physical body, is really the first step to moving into your spirituality and your spiritual freedom. And once you've recognized that, and recognizing that you are one with divine and all that is, and you have the ability to be all that divine is, was, and is to be, it opens you up for possibilities, and possibilities are unlimited. Were you going to say something, Karen?
No, I got a little behind, so I'm still typing in these categories while I'm listening.
Okay, so the second category is unification. And the first thought in the subcategory is I unify my consciousness with the consciousness of God, divine all that is. And however you choose to word this, how you honor, whether it's Great Spirit, Mother, Father, God, God, Goddess, however you choose, and what works best for you in recognizing that higher power. Divine all that is works, it's generic, it encompasses all. That's what I like. The second thought is I choose to be in total faith and trust. The third thought is I allow divine all that is to guide me for my greatest and highest good. And then my life unfolds through grace and ease, joy and spiritual freedom. When you align yourself with divine all that is, that means that you are in complete trust, in complete faith that you have, that you can, you have, you will achieve enlightenment. You have the ability, you have the knowing. It is just merely remembering. And these signature frequencies will help trigger those frequencies within your cellular structure and the energetic structure of your body. Your cells, your energy, your aura remembers everything you've been, everything you've experienced, all the wisdom, all the knowledge that you have acquired, not only in this lifetime, but all your soul's journeys from the time you chose to bring forth physical creation and physical manifestation. And these thought processes, these thought forms, they carry a frequency that is in your DNA and in your cellular structure, and playing the frequency back when you put them in the multi-layer and the balance RX activates and reconstitutes, rebuilds, sparks that thought process forward for you. In the Young Living Essential Oils, abundance and magnify your purpose are really good for supporting the thought, for unifying your consciousness with the consciousness of divine all that is. The next category, the willingness to change. And again, when you go to your categories, tap the blue circle to the right and start entering in the sub-thoughts, the subcategories. And under willingness to change, I am willing to face my fears. This is huge. And I know from my past experience that there are times where life experiences feel so overwhelming and you get paralyzed in fear and you move into a place of non-movement. You just go kind of catatonic in life. And I have always found that thinking about the situation holds more energy and more fear than actually stepping through it. Once you take that first step, you always look back and laugh at yourself because it took more energy to hold the fear than it did to step forward to make a change.
And I can vouch for that. Thank you, Gayle.
Yeah. And, I use the fire walk. I go to a conference every year and have done fire walks for 12 years now. And the first step, walking across those hot coals, you have all this mental mind play and volley going on. And when you finally trust yourself and you trust in spirit and you take that first step and then you get to the other side, you look back over the coals and you are elated that you overcame mind over matter. And when you can walk across coals um, without injury, it really is amazing when you step back and you realize what you can accomplish. If you can walk across coals, or when you walk across coals unscathed, you know you can do anything you put your mind and your heart to. So in that willingness to change, I access my life with integrity and confidence. This too is huge, as when we are going through life, we get complacent in our routines and people that we hang around and associate with. We pick up ways of being, our family experiences, our friend, our work experiences, outside experiences, and we allow our actions to become pre-programmed by doing them automatically every time. So having the willingness to change and moving, when you commit to being in your life and accessing and participating in your life with integrity, and every move you make, every thought you have is in and of integrity, your life starts to change and it builds your confidence. You will be tested on when you make that choice to be in integrity. It will be easy to fall back in your old ways. And if you do, don't get all guilt trippy on yourself. Just re-step, acknowledge that that is a program, and you can reprogram to be in integrity. And sometimes when you step out of the muckety muck and you step into your integrity, sometimes you are standing there all by yourself. And what happens when you stand in integrity and you are by yourself, those who are in lack of integrity fall away. And then you turn around and you see you have a whole host of people and spiritual guides who are supporting you in your higher divine frequency of integrity. And then your circle of friends, the way you interact with your coworkers, with strangers, with the people you are working with, changes when you move into integrity. And you will find that those that move into your life, come into your life, have integrity. And you will quickly recognize those who don't have integrity, and then you have a choice. You can choose to have them as acquaintances and just visit them and allow them to be where they are, because that's where they are in their soul's journey, and do so without judgment.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome. In that willingness to change, you can support those thought processes with Young Living Essential Oil Blends Valor, Valor 2, Transformation, and Believe, and build your dream.
Gail, Kelly, thank you for this question, Kelly. Kelly asked if this information is in your book, your new book.
Kind of, sort of, but not exactly. This, I go into meditation and I ask the webinar, for inspiration for the webinars, and then I get downloaded information and I just start typing. So the concept is going to be in my book, especially with the emotions. It's the whole thread. When you move into higher consciousness, absolutely. So much of what I'm sharing will be in the book, with the emotions, and we talk about forgive as if you have forgotten. I reprint the article from my website. ways of healing, the spiral breath to move into higher consciousness, activating the glia brain. There is sections in the book, in the chapter of emotions on courage and discipline, and yeah. So yes, the answer is yes. There will be this will be in there, woven through the fabric of the books and in the pages, but this actual setup is not. Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn up the volume of my phone. Okay, so thank you very much for that. But so the answer is yes and no at the same time. Okay, so we'll move to the fourth category of dominion. And this goes in with the last category, dominion. I take dominion. I take responsibility for my thoughts, my actions, and my reactions. We are not victims. We choose. We choose the circumstances that we experience in our life. And yes, they may come broadside you and trip you up from time to time and be a tremendous weight. And on one hand, you can say, well, I didn't ask for this, but in the divine scheme of things, you absolutely asked for that, because for some reason in your energetic field, you had something to heal, to forgive, to overcome. And if you didn't have life challenges, you would not know how strong you are. You would not know your courage. You would not know your stamina. You would not know your wisdom or your compassion or your depth of love or your depth of forgiveness. Life challenges happen for the purpose of learning, growing, and expanding your higher consciousness. So when something comes about, don't damn it and don't say, why are you doing this to me? It has come to you because for some reason in that experience, however traumatic it is, and I can honestly say, if you knew my childhood, traumatic happens and pain happens, but you get the opportunity. But in all of those experiences of my childhood, it gave me a foundation that allowed me to grow my compassion, my love, my courage, my fortitude, my independence. And I really got to see firsthand in my life that I am not a victim. I always have a choice. And the greatest thing I experienced with the hardships in my life is the overwhelming presence of divine all that is. God's hands, God's wisdom, however you want to share that. The divine presence wrapped me and guided me. And I am a better person today for what the challenges that I went through as a child. If I had a choice, would I choose to go through that? Probably not. But because I did, I have valuable life lessons, and that allows me to tune in to my clients and my friends and myself, and I can tell with the energetics what kind of abuse or trauma or chaos, burdens that someone has experienced, because I experienced so much, and I recognize the frequency or the look or the energy or the manner, the demeanor, and it gives me a platform to step through and to open the door. And if they walk through the door, then I share with them how I came into balance. So taking responsibility for your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions is key for your change into your higher consciousness. I accept myself and others fully with self-love, self-worth, and self-respect. You have to love yourself for others to love you. You have to know your self-worth so you can show others your self-worth. You have to respect yourself before anyone else can respect you. I know it is commonplace, and most of the population does go through life looking for outside confirmation and recognition that we're loved, that we're worthy, that we're respected. And truly, when you believe it within yourself, then you will bring forth the respect, the love, and your worthiness. And those who don't respect you will just kind of fade away and move out of your circle of acquaintances, which allows people with higher consciousness and those that do respect you and love you to come into your energetic field. And then in this category of dominion is I judge not myself or others. And this is key. And this is when you can allow people to be where they are and not take things personal and not judge them, because you really don't know, unless they're in your immediate family or your immediate circle, you don't know what a person has gone through to put them where they are in that moment. When you step out of judgment for yourself and judgment of others, and judgment of others is a reflection of judgment for yourself, it frees you up to share love and light and blessings. And when you see someone's having a hard day or they're being obnoxious, you can engage in that and add fuel to the fire, or you can step back and just give them love. And sometimes you need to step and ask yourself, am I witnessing this for my participation, or I'm witnessing this because I need to know this is not my fight? And when you listen to your divine little voice, your voice will tell you whether you are supposed to just witness and say, oh, wow, I used to be there. I used to have that thought process. Or if it is for you to step up, to either hold space or to interact for the greatest and highest good. And you will always know that. And the regret comes in when you know you should have acted and you didn't. That's where the little trip up in that dominion and in judging, and then you place more judgment on yourself. And when you do, just know that there was a lesson. See what you can come up with, what you need to heal, where you can strengthen your divine personality, and move forward. And an excellent oil to work with dominion and responsibility is acceptance by Young Living. The next category is I live on principle. And I love this one. When I committed to live on principle, I sometimes stood alone, and it was at times very difficult, but I recall somebody that did not like me for whatever reason, and they came up to me and they said, I don't like you, because they didn't like me because I was self-assured, I knew who I was, I knew what I wanted, and I was excellent at what I did. And they were intimidated by me. So it wasn't that I was being boastful, I was just being me. And they said, I don't really like you, but I respect you. I respect you more than anyone I know, because you know who you are, you know what you want, You're good at what you do, and you do it with grace. And I was surprised because I had no idea this person didn't like me. I worked with this person, but and they moved. I was doing hair at the time, and they moved their station next to my station, which really, really kind of blew me away because I thought they did it because they liked me, and they did it because they didn't. Okay, so living on principle, and I choose to live on principle. I do my very best to live my life with honesty and integrity. So in this category of I live on principle, I am anthropos. This is in my book, and anthropos means fully realized human being. And Jesus says to Mary Magdalene, she is anthropos. That means they have ascended, they have achieved their light body. They are one with all that is. And we all have that ability to do so. And underneath anthropos is I become light at will. Having become my light body in Egypt and in at several other ceremonies throughout my life, I can tell you, becoming your light body is an absolute factual achievement of being. And it takes being in unconditional love and having that faith and the trust that you can be your light body, that you can be anthropos. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. My words uplift myself and others. Words are so powerful. And when you commit to yourself that your words, the words that come out of your mouth, are uplifting to yourself and others, you stop demeaning. Words in the abuse when I was a child, it was harder to get over a verbal abuse because it wasn't tangible than it was the physical abuse. And there's something about words that cut deep and hold frequency. And when you choose to speak over somebody that uplifts them, and catch yourself. And if you catch yourself after you've finished a sentence, then step back and rephrase it. If you catch yourself in the middle, stop, rephrase. And pretty soon you're going to think a thought and you're going to catch yourself before the words cross your lips. And soon you will be humbly uplifting yourself and others, and you just move into a very sweet, joyous place. So watch your words, because your words, what you speak, you create.
Mm-hmm.
My actions and reactions reflect thy greatest good. And again, when you are going to misstep, you know it. And sometimes there is that reprogramming, that automatic programming from your past life's experience. But when you catch yourself experience an automatic program, stop, like your words, then restep and choose a different course of action. And pretty soon, your actions and your reactions, when you're in non-judgment, your reactions are not as great, and you can stand there in your sacred space and in your sweet, balanced, loving space and not be affected by other people's words and actions. And there are times when you have to take action. So this is a very powerful two-sided statement, as sometimes people are too passive and they become a doormat, and you are required to step forth and take action. And then other times you need to tamper down those actions because you're in autopilot. So putting in the frequency of this thought form and this belief will help activate and start the process of change in the body. And the Young Living oils that support this, I find, is 3 Wise Men from Young Living, Common Sense. Boy, I love this one, Common Sense. Clarity is a good one, and Humility is really nice. So the 6th category is I live on purpose. When you commit to purposeful living, you commit that every action is on purpose, it has a goal, it has a reason, it has a positive effect. And again, it comes back to we get accustomed to going through our routine, what we have learned, and the auto-programming we have acquired through life. When you commit to be purposeful in your life, then every moment has a meaning. Whether it is to relax, to meditate, to laugh, to do something spontaneous, to open the door for an elder person, catch a bag, reach something off a grocery shelf. Everything has a purpose. Live your life with a purpose. And not that you require acknowledgement, because then your ego's speaking, but when you commit to be purposeful in your living, life becomes very sweet and blissful. And I allow my purpose to be revealed. When I'm in conference and in channelings sessions, the most asked question I receive is, what is my purpose? And divine always answers, to be the very best you can be, to remember and become and hold the frequency of your light body, to be fully realized human beings and anthropos. So allow your purpose to be revealed, because the way you achieve that reveals itself with each step. If you could see 30 years in advance and know where you're going to be, then you don't need those 30 years. Each step that you make opens the possibility, the multiple possibilities, to take you in a different direction. So yes, you may have a goal or an outlying achievement that you will reach in 30 years, but you have so many options to get there. And every time you take a step and you experience something, you allow yourself to open up to grander possibilities and to shift and alter and make that end result much greater than it could be. I live my purpose with courage. And this is having the courage, the self-love, the self-respect, the self-worth to live your purpose, even though it is way different than those that are around you or your family members. Have the courage to live your purpose. And when you do, you find people, you gravitate to people that are of like mind. And then you have your spiritual family and your spiritual friends, and it just takes you into another level of being. And trust the process. I trust the process of transformation. Sometimes you have to shake things up to find a new center, a center of balance. So allow the chaos and the change to take place, and allow and trust the process of transformation, because in divine accordance, all things are divine. If it was to happen, it would. If it wasn't supposed to, it didn't. So in the Young Living Essential Oils to support I Live on Purpose, brain power is good, awaken, magnify your purpose, motivation, joy, inspiration. These are some of my favorites. The next step is moving into forgiveness. And forgiveness Sometimes forgiveness can be anywhere in these 12 steps. They don't have to come in order. It's whatever works best for you. And when you put these into the quantum infinity and you scan them, they will show you, your body will show you energetically what requires some attention. And under forgiveness, I write, I forgive myself for my missteps. And sin, the literal translation is to misstep, to miss the mark. When you look at a misstep, it carries less weight than the dreaded sin that we are taught in religion. So when you know that Jesus, God, divine, all that is, our spiritual teachers talk about missteps. So when you misstep, you have the freedom of choice to restep. So restep. I forgive myself for what I have said and not said. I forgive others for what they have said and not said. I forgive myself for what I have done and not done. I forgive others for what they have done and not done. And to support this energetic thought process, forgiveness, the blend from Young Living, harmony, and release. As we move up to the 8th category, the 8th step, positively present. And this is showing up in your life. I maintain a positive attitude no matter what is occurring in my life. And yes, this is easier said than done, but the more you hold that positive attitude, you hold your sacredness, you hold your divinity, you hold your divine I am. When you hold the other steps that we have gone through, it makes holding and maintaining your positive attitude so much easier. And you can be the calm in the storm no matter what's going on around you. Every crisis is merely an opportunity to grow. I am victorious. Being a victim is a choice. Stepping through and putting action and thoughts and movement and shifting that energetic frequency, putting love into your body, self-worth, self-love, self-respect, you are victorious. And people forget to look back at the courage that it took to go from what you experienced in the past to where you are now. The fact is, you came through an experience. Give yourself credit for coming through and being victorious. I accomplish my goals. I see my vision clearly. I see and accept opportunities when they come. When you are centered, balanced, grounded, you can see the opportunities when they come whizzing by, because opportunities fly by all the time. When you get too busy in the little mundane things of life, you miss a lot of opportunities. So allow yourself, program yourself, say in your prayers that I see and accept opportunities when they come. I live in the present. If you are still worried about what happened a week ago, a month ago, 20, 30 years ago, you're not in the present. For those of you in the practitioner role, you most likely have had those clients that have come in and are so worked up. I have a client that came to me and so worked up, she cried, she shook, she was so upset, recalling this experience, traumatic experience that happened in her life. And I leaned forward and I said, oh, my dear, when did this happen? 38 years ago. So for 38 years, every day, she relived that traumatic experience and brought it up. The same experience, the same emotions, the same energetics that she felt in that moment, she relived every day for 38 years. And I looked at her and said, "Aren't you tired?" And then she cried. And then I was able to, with the quantum, as she's speaking, I'm running emotional frequencies and the solfeggio frequencies and positive thoughts on what she was saying. I'm running those frequencies and activating her DNA and her cellular memory. And then all of a sudden, she calmed down and she looked right at me instead of looking through me. And then we started our session, truly started our session. And when she went home, her children called me and asked what I did, because she had been to several practitioners, many practitioners over the years. And it was the first time that they saw their mom before this traumatic experience happened 38 years ago. So the power of the quantum works, and the power of these thought processes work. Okay, so living in the present too then really opens up and lets go of a lot of burden and energetics. Present Time by Young Living Oils is a wonderful essential oil blend for that. Christmas Spirit elevates the mood. I have Present Time in there twice. And Grounding, those are all wonderful essential oil blends from Young Living. So persistence. I maintain focus and discipline. When you commit to being disciplined to anything that you choose, any goal that you have set, it is the discipline and it is coming back and keeping focused on that prize, on that goal, on that achievement that allows you to achieve it. The journey is what you talk about, but it is the focus and the discipline when you commit to achieve your goals. I persist through faith and trust. Believe with everything you have and trust that you will achieve your goals. Trust that divine will put in your place, into place the steps that you need to achieve it, the people, the finances. Persist through faith and trust. Young Living Essential Oil Blends Motivation, Dream Catcher, Inspiration, those are all really good. Service. This is huge. And people, light workers, when you commit to being a light worker and you commit to being in service, it is very humbling. And your life and your worth, when you look at the lives that you have touched in your lifetime, that's your worth. It's not how much money you have in the bank. It's not how many books you have on published. It's how many lives you've touched in a positive way. I humbly offer my service to do Divine's work. The first time, just before I became my light body for the first time, I committed wholeheartedly to Divine all that is. I said, I commit to you. Here I am, humbly standing before you. Show me how I can be of service and to share the love that I feel in this moment. And shortly after, I experienced becoming my light body for the first time. And that is an experience, that is a feeling you cannot describe. It is so euphoric that euphoric is a minimal word. But when you experience it, the only thing you can do is share it and hold the space for others to experience it. And that's what I do when I do my channeling, with my healing work. I am holding space and I'm being service and doing divine's work. I humbly offer myself to caretake Gaia. I chose long ago, divine would give me messages and send me to a sacred space, a vortex, sacred temples, to clear and shift the energy. Walking in France, I was walking across a field and I stepped on this spot and I just kept going back and forth. And there was so much heartache and trauma and sorrow that was locked in this piece of earth in the middle of France. And immediately I opened myself to transmute the energy, to bring divine energy through into the earth and allow that trauma and sorrow to come forth through me and through the light. And I created a vortex where the souls and the trauma were released from the land. And the woman who owned the land came running up to me, a little short, spunky French woman, and in her broken English said, "What did you do?" And I looked at her and said, "I shifted some energy." And she said, "You threw me out of my bed, and I sleep on a futon." But she was the caretaker. She bought that property because there was a massacre there of Mary Magdalene and Cathars. And she was a caretaker of that land to heal that land. And with all that she had done, then divine put me, she laid the foundation, and divine put me in the place where I stepped on that one spot and I was able to free and facilitate. It wasn't me, I was the facilitator. And it was so great that it brought everybody out of their homes to see, because the ground was rumbling as the souls were leaving. So I chose in that moment to be a caretaker for earth, and to wherever I step to leave my light and my love, and not anger and frustration and hate. I choose that my steps lay a grid work of love, joy, and laughter. Service. Valor from Young Living, gathering, envision, humility, highest potential, the gift. These are all wonderful blends with Young Living essential oils that help you achieve service. Gratitude. With gratitude, when you open your eyes in the morning, give thanks that you have another day to grow, share, and love. I am grateful for each new day to grow, share, and love. I am grateful for the multitude of blessings in my life. No matter how small they are, give thanks. Give your gratitude for the sweet little blessings. Again, someone opening the door, someone giving you the right of way, coming up, being a little rushed, going to work, and the lights keep going and the gate isn't coming down, and you have plenty of time to zip through with ease, grace and ease, so you don't get stopped by the train. The birds coming down to sing to you, little things, God giving you a breathtaking sunset. Give gratitude for all things in your life, and when you start living in gratitude, your life changes dramatically, very quickly, and so beautifully. And I am grateful that I know love. And yes, I've had heartaches. We have all had heartaches, but I have loved, and you don't know the depths of love sometimes until it is taken away, when you don't have it. And knowing love, you are able to share love. And you are able to hold space while somebody else comes up to that frequency of unconditional divine love. Gratitude, the blend from Young Living essential oils, abundance, harmony, those are all beneficial for gratitude. When you live your life with gratitude, your life is beautiful. And then tithing. I pay my blessings forward. Doing these webinars, sharing my gift, going to conferences, speaking with somebody, one of my friends or an acquaintance or a stranger that looks like they need a friend, taking a moment to stop and give an ear. You don't have to always say something. Sometimes just being there in silence, they know they're not alone. There's nothing you can say that can change or shift because they are where they are. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do and the most loving and graceful is just being present, and being present for someone else in silence. Tithing your blessings forward. I tithe my time and my wisdom, and everything you tithe forward comes back to you manyfold. And again, essential oils that support this is abundance. And abundance doesn't necessarily have to be prosperity in monetary value. Abundance of joy, abundance of love, abundance of blessings. And live your passion. Live your life with passion. So now that we've gone through the 12 steps that can help you achieve spiritual freedom, when you have these listed, getting back to the quantum, so when you have these listed, you can tap, when you're doing your session, tap on the white pinwheel, and it will take you to your custom libraries. When you tap on the blue circle to the right of 12 steps for spiritual freedom, highlight all of these 12 steps. When you highlight all of those and then you tap back and back again, it brings you to the customized panel, and then you will see showing in the customized panel all of your thought processes in dominion, forgiveness, gratitude, and when you scan, it will show you areas that you require assistance. It shows you how the areas that you need to focus on to not judge myself. That came up, I just scanned this and it came up 5. Okay, so I put that in so I can shift that out. So going through these principles, pull the principles out that are either extremely high or extremely low. And in this case, being that they are positive, extremely high is fortifying the thought process. And for me, extremely low would be I require for that thought process to be filled. So use your intuition, put the highs and the lows, and put in that joy, 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 joy. So slide those into the multi-layer RX. And as many as you want. And you can just use this to go into balance. And this alone is a session without going into anything else. If you find that your client or yourself, you're not moving and you're staying the same, then you are really locked into thought processes around moving into spiritual freedom, then go back and scan the Da Vinci scan, the Da Vinci screen, and see what areas will help you in your movement, whether it's adding an emotion, adding solfeggio frequencies, sacred geometries, spiritual protection. And you can slide these into your into the multi-layer screen to help you give that boost. And know too that when you are stuck, it'll take a while. You will find in the layering that you will start to have movement. If you have movement where you start regressing and your numbers go down in your percentage of harmony, it is that you are peeling off a layer. You're getting close to the core issue or a core issue. And once you peel that energetic layer off, your numbers will pop back up. And if you get up, say, 50, 60% in harmony and balance, and then you drop back to 23, that is a good thing because you are peeling away another layer of energetics that no longer serve you. So just keep putting yourself in balance. And I like to balance until I hit the 528 hertz frequency. If you do not get to that point, if you move somebody 10 points, 10, 15, 20 points, that's huge. That's movement. That's positive. So then you will be, call that done and bring them back, because it may be that that's all you or your client can handle at the moment. And as you go through time, you will begin to integrate and allow yourself to open and heal more. And now I notice that it's 1:05. I was long-winded. And are there any questions in that?
Thank you, Gayle. You are such a beautiful blessing. Thank you so much.
And you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us.
And I think everyone's going to want a copy of your book. So, when is it available?
It is at the publishers now, and there's a strong possibility that it will be out by the end of the month. Yay!
And will it be available on Amazon?
It is. It'll be in Amazon, in ebook, on paperback. I also have in the Spiral Breath, I have a beautiful animation that walks you through the Spiral Breath technique. And it has 2 parts. There's a 10-minute segment that goes through the instructions, and then there's a 20-minute session that just goes through the process and the animation and the breath cycle and the limbic system and sacred geometries, and it's just a beautiful breath technique. So we have the book, the ebook, and the DVD on the breath technique. So that will all be out and available by the end of the month, most likely.
Oh, great. Thank you.
And we will let you know.
I'd like to share something that my dear friend John in Canada, we were texting while we were listening, and he shared this. He said it's almost hypnotic listening to Gayle. Her voice is so sincere and soothing and so embracing. And it really is. I mean, the message comes across in such a deep, beautiful way, on so many levels. And, when you remind me of how, when I think of you and feel your energy, it makes me feel that, makes me think of Mary Magdalene. That you have the same energy. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. She guides me. She's been guiding me all my life.
I'm sure. Yeah.
That really made me cry. I almost couldn't speak.
It's such a healing energy.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us this morning. And does anyone have any quick questions for Gayle? Just about your book, I think. Yeah. So you think a few weeks from now, Gayle?
Yes, because it's at the publishers, and they did tell me that it could be out within 2 weeks of being sent in, and they've been working on it for about 2 weeks. So I'd say there's a very strong possibility that it'll be out by the end of the month.
Okay. Yeah.
So I have a call with them later today, so I will be able to, I might know something more later today. But
Oh, great. Okay, I'll send that. I'll send that in an email. Kenny has a question here. Does Gail already have a panel made?
I do. For this, yes, I do.
Okay, I'm going to give you your email address here so people can contact you for that.
And then you're expecting me to learn Dropbox so I can send it over to you.
I know we should do a webinar on that, shouldn't we, at some time?
We should.
That would be great because I would imagine you probably have a lot of panels that people would like to purchase.
I have a lot of panels.
Yeah.
That's yep. I've been doing this for a long time, since 90, or since 2000, I think. 2000. I started working with bioenergetics in 2000, with other companies, BioMeridian, Zyto. I was an educator, the beta testing, and I've just been doing this. So I have a lot of panels, and yeah, so I will share. So now I have to learn Dropbox and see all timing. It's all timing. So now my time is opened up, so I will be able to learn Dropbox and all these technical things. And I am going down to the Apple store and sitting down with them this weekend so they can show me how to really work my Apple computer, since I switched from a Toshiba to an Apple. The learning.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it a lot. And then maybe they can, or I can show you later today how to do the QuickTime so that you can, yeah, it'd probably be easier for you to work with your clients that way too, to show it on the computer or a bigger screen, like a monitor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's beautiful to show those panels on a large monitor. Oh, like we did when we did the UFO conference.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah. Oh, great. Okay.
So getting the webinar, yes. So I do have that on a panel already, a custom library. And so if you email me, we will figure out, I will figure out how to Dropbox it to you.
I'm just going to share your email here, bodynature@bellsouth.net.
Yes.
And there's a few more questions here if you have a few minutes.
Sure.
At bellsouth.net, send to all. Okay, so you can contact Gail for the customized panels. Kelly says, oh, Kelly said she needs to learn the same about Mac. And Dropbox. Sorry, not about Mac, about the Dropbox. Yeah, so it would be great for us to do a webinar on that. Maybe we can speak with Susan because she's a master. I've got to get in touch with Susan today to get the YLO panel. So maybe we can figure something out there. I almost have the Caroline main book panel complete. Oh, yay! So Kelly's been working on a customized panel for the emotion, yeah, the oils for emotions that is in Caroline Main's book. It's a beautiful book.
Yes, it is.
I'm actually just getting. Oh, sorry, I thought I had it right there. I don't remember the name of it. Do you, Gail? Or Kelly?
Yes. Let's see. It is called Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils.
That's it. Thank you.
Carolyn L. Main, MEIN, DC.
Right. That'll be a very powerful panel. Thank you for doing that, Kelly. All right. Well, thank you all. Have a wonderful weekend, very blessed weekend. And we'll see you soon.
Yes.
And then also, Gail, I don't know if you would be happy to do a webinar one time where we're seeing your face. You know, in the webcam, and we can bring people on and make it interactive. And somebody mentioned, oh, I would love to see Gail's face when she's talking. I don't know if that's something you'd be up for, but we can do that.
I mean, I have to take my tape off of my camera lens. Yes, I will do that. I will learn how to do all of this stuff, I promise. And that's it's time.
Okay, and I'll help you as much as I can too. Especially with QuickTime, it's such a great program. So Kelly's saying you can solve anything with the Caroline main panel. Yay.
Yes.
All right, beautiful. Thank you all. Gail, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. God bless.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.